Good morning and welcome. So glad you took some time out of your day just to drop by, see what's happening. I have some cards, of course, and it's from the 2023 catalog. So I hope you enjoy. The stamp set that we're going to use today is called Warm Welcome. It is from the 2023 catalog, so very exciting. And we had a chance to purchase this a month or so ago. So I've been looking at it and decided to use it today. So this is the card that I'm using. The first thing that I did, I put welcome to my home and let's spend time together. I used the brick and mortar 3D embossing folder for the brick of the home, and I've got it right here, but so that you can kind of see some of the brick and mortar, I just very lightly took my stamp set and just added some color to some of the bricks, so it gave it a little variety. And that is Sahara sand, so it's a lighter brick. And then I have early expresso to give the brick a little bit more dimension as well. So I'll put that on first. There we go. The nice thing when you do use glue is that you have a little bit of forgiveness, that you can move it around a little bit. And since I was a little heavy on that one corner, I'm going to put that on the bottom because our door is going to cover it. Okay. So I'm just, so that I know where my door needs to go, I'm just going to put this piece on the bottom, like the landing of your house. There we go. So now I know where the door goes. So we can center the door after I put a few pieces on. Now, this is a nice little door handle. And I used the center of the O for the lock, because it's so funny. I put the card together and I couldn't find the die that made this lock, and very frustrating. And then I realized I had used the center of the O, because you can use all of the numbers. There's a strip for all the numbers, and there is the lock in the middle of the O. So I thought that was kind of funny, because I'm like, I don't know where that is, and it's so small. Now I used a dabber with some early expresso, oh pardon me, and just went around the door, just again, so it gives it a little bit of a pop. Get our door centered. and straight. We need a straight door. Okay, so I used number 32. These are the numbers, and you can very easily, there's another plate that you could use a longer number, but that's not what I wanted to use today, so I'm using number 32, the smaller one. And again, I did the same thing, a little bit of dimension on these solid colors. So there is a stamp that has little hands on it. So I have used those, colored them, but I cut the gentleman's hand or lady's hands off because I don't need them. Little surgery here. And I just colored, of course, I used dark cherry cobbler for the colors, and of course you can use anything you wish. And we have the soft dark soft succulent and dark mossy meadow, and I'm just putting them on each side of the door. Each side of the door. And of course, if you were making this Christmas, you could put some trees on each side. And I have "Welcome to my home" on it. Our little welcoming mat. Get rid of our hands. Okay, so we'll put this on the front of our card. And to finish it off, there is a circle piece, which I guess could be a door handle, but I wanted to use it as a wreath. The great thing about crafting and being creative is that you can really use your imagination. So I put it up there, and there's this really interesting bow that comes with this set as well, but I didn't want it quite that long, so let me just little trimming today. And some of the pieces are very delicate, so I certainly used my tweezers, because after you get glue stuck on them, these little pieces stick to your fingers as well. Okay, so that needs to dry a little bit. And then finishing it off with some red rhinestones. And I didn't want to put them over on the door, so I've got them over on the landing. And just to, again, color is lovely. And I was thinking this would be a nice invitation. Send someone an invitation to your home for a meal. And there is our first card. Welcome to my home, and let's spend time together. This is the card that I made, and I wanted to make it so that we had a moving door. So it took me a little while to figure out the carpentry end of it, but I did get it to open. So we have hello, and my door is always open for you. So it just meant that I had to do a little bit more decorating on the inside. And it's easy once you get the hang of it. So let me show you how I did this. And I hope you really like that idea, because I thought it was really neat. So I'm going to show you, there are 2 dies that go with this set. One is the door with, I guess, like the hardware design, and then there's a smaller one. I've used, this is for the door itself, and I used the smaller one for the opening on the card so that the door would overlap. So that's how that works. Now, to make the door, okay, so here's the card. I'm going to put this sheet underneath so you can see. So here is the card, and the smaller opening is cut for the front. So what I've done is I've taken 2-sided tape, and I made an inside and an outside for the card. And we want to be able to have a hinge that will attach to the inside of the card. So I had to make it smaller. So let me just show you how it does go together. We have our 2-sided tape. So it's going to, there's the front door going into our little hinge. And then, well, I could have made that a little more central. There we go. Okay, just center it. Then take the 2-sided tape off the other side. And we are going to have to put some glue on it as well, because we want all of it to go. And there's the outside of that card. So I've lined it up, and I find the best way is to stand it up so that you know you for sure have the bottom lined up. And you want them to be exact as possible. There we go. Pretty good, pretty good. Now, we are going to fit our door on the inside, so we need some more double-sided tape, which is right here. And the reason I'm not using glue, I just find that this is a little bit more sturdy and will just for sure hold it. Now you only need this on the one side to put it in here. So we've got it in the middle. And there is our card, our door, I mean. Card's not quite finished. Okay, so that was easy enough. Now, in order to put our sentiment in and to have it line up, what I've done, here, let's just get this started here. So we'll put some white. And the color that I'm using is Bermuda Bay. It looks certainly more blue, but that's the color that I'm using. Okay, so I'm going to put this on the inside of the card so we know exactly where we're going to have to put our inside sentiment. So when we open the door, we see my door is always open. So what I did was I lined it up, open, and it is offside because of course the door is opening. So I just made tiny little marks so that when I go to put it on, I will have it in the right spot. So there we have that. And that one. And just before it dries, we'll make sure we've got it in the right spot. And there we have it. So if the pencil marks are still there, of course, just give it a little erase because they're just tiny. There. Okay, so do that a few times to give myself confidence that I've got it on. Now, to cover this up, I just again use the same die, and I made it, I guess I could have made it the same on both sides, but I made one side bigger because I want to just cover up the hinge. Just up a tiny little bit. There. So those two steps are the most challenging, but I just love the way the door opens and the whole card opens. So I had dreams about how to make this. Very happy that it turned out. Okay, the next thing I want to do is do some quick stenciling. And oh, here it is. Oh well, it's not the same one, so that's okay. We'll use a different one. And I just took a little bit of Bermuda Bay and a dauber, and just went just around the outside of the, well, that doesn't turn out as well as the other one. Okay, we'll make it a little bigger. Let's see. I'll say, okay, we just have some designs here. That's fine. You know, you lay everything out and you think you have it, and by golly, it just disappears. But that looks okay. I was going to put designer paper on the inside, like wallpaper, but that's kind of old-fashioned, so I didn't do that. Okay, so we're going to have hello put on. I just put it on an angle. Then I am using basic gray, and I put a kitty on the front welcoming you. Whoops, sorry about that. Just sitting out there waiting for someone to come and visit. Then on the inside I put another kitty, and there are a set of shoes that are the cutest things, all neatly lined up right there. Okay, then we have to have a doorknob, and look at that, I just put that on my door. Okay, so we put it, I used this here, these brushed metallic adhesives, and I used one for the doorknob, and then I just put 3 more, and I will figure out how to cover that up. My little mistake. Anyway, so I hope you like that card. Here, we'll show you this one here. And the best part was putting the door in and trying to figure out how that would open. So I hope you enjoyed that, and actually enjoyed both of our cards today. And I thank you very much for dropping by, for your kind comments, and your subscribing. And I will see you again next week. Have a great week. Bye for now.